Places from New York City.
Hi, I'm Jen.
And I'm Sarah, and we're the Golden Broads of the Bay. Welcome to our third interview vlog. Today, we have the pleasure of sitting down with our lovely friend, Chris FAISON.
A spot of tea with our friend.
Yes, little tea.
So Chris is currently performing in the Lincoln Center's production of My Fair Lady, playing at the Vivian Beaumont Theatre.
Yes.
The show opened on April 19th and previewed on March 15th, 2018.
That's right.
So this was your Broadway debut.
Yes, ma'am.
We will obviously be getting to all of that.
Okay.
But we want our folks at home to hear the story of how you met these two crazy broads from the Bay Area. We've told this story countless times to so many people because we talk about you like we're your long lost cousin.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or your mamas.
Or your aunties or whatever.
Yeah.
But we would love to get your perspective on meeting these two crazy broads.
So I was on tour with the Book of Mormon, and we were in
Costa Mesa.
That was my second guess.
Yes.
We're in Costa Mesa, California, and it was like towards the end of our time in the States. We were just in stateside rather. We were getting ready to go to Hawaii, and then we were going to be done. And I had come out the hotel. I think it was several hours before the show had started. I came out the hotel, and I saw these two females sitting on this bench across the street in the parking lot. And my spirit told me, who are these women and why do I felt compelled to go over and talk and say hello. I knew there was a kindred something was going on. I could feel it, So I did. I was like, hey, hi, who are you? What's going on? And lo and behold, you all were coming to see the show, which I had no idea, obviously, of. And the rest is history. Here we are.
Right.
Well, do you remember us saying hello and you were like, oh Lord?
No. Yes.
You remember that?
You were right outside the hotel, and we pulled up, and I was like, Jenny, I think he's in the show. And then she rolled down the window, and she was like, hello, and you just kind of looked at us like,
oh, these girls. And then you saw
because fans are nuts sometimes. Fans can be crazy.
Yes. Well, then also too, there was a moment where I don't know if you remember this, but you had crossed the street already from the hotel.
And I came back.
And then we were like, we're just sitting there doing our thing, and then you were like, hey, what are you guys doing after the show? And we were like, this?
Right.
Yes, and then he invited us backstage for a quick tour. So we very
you were like, well, you don't seem like you're gonna murder me.
Right.
I
think we're good. Yeah.
It was like a kindred spirit. You could feel it. I was like, these people are cool.
Yeah.
Let's have them come back.
See, open and optimistic, and
and I mean, we had no, we were just like, hi.
Here we are now, years later.
Yeah, years later, and we've been meeting up every year since.
Yeah.
So,
all right, let's
dive in. Okay,
let's do it.
So, when did you start performing?
Out of the womb.
In the womb.
In the womb. I started performing at age 4.
Wow.
In church. I had my first solo, Seek, and Ye Shall Find. Isn't that
yes,
ironic?
you did. Yeah, you did.
Isn't that ironic?
It's poetic
Seek,
justice.
and Ye Shall Find was my first solo in church. And after I finished, something happened. There was something was going on. There was people were moved, folks were, applauding and whatever. There was in the spirit of worship, and I said, "Well, this is something. This is cool. This is a power that I have to make people feel something." And so that's how I started.
Yeah, and I was gonna. Yeah, and at that young of an age, you sort of knew that this was what you were gonna do.
I could sense it. I did not know that it was theater.
Sure.
I did not know it was theater. I knew that I vocalized, and I knew that I liked singing around the house. And I knew that I loved the Lord, and I loved going to church, and I was in church all the time. And of course, it was only natural for me to be in the choir.
Right.
But after I finished, I knew that I had some power in singing.
Yeah. So when did you start performing professionally?
Professionally, the first paycheck
Because I'm sure there was, I'm sure there was some time without a paycheck you performed.
There was a very long time without a paycheck. Several years, decades, in fact, without a paycheck. And my very first professional job was in 2003.
Okay.
And I worked for Royal Caribbean Productions. Shout out to Royal Caribbean. Thank you for hiring me. And I worked for them for, at first my contract was 6 or 7 months. And I thought that I was going to be done, and I thought, okay, that was cute, and what's next? And I'll move back to New York and just make it to Broadway.
Sure.
And that didn't turn out to be the case, and Royal Caribbean called me again, and they kept offering me really amazing itineraries.
And you were getting to travel and see the world and perform.
More money, more travel, and so I stayed with them for 10 whole years.
Wow. Okay, so cruise ships, and then when I know you did a couple of other types of tours, was that after the cruise ship or before?
Oh, before.
Okay.
So the first time that I left, the first time I was properly touring was in '98, and that was with Up With People.
Up With People.
Shout out to Up With People. Trying to save the world. And that was amazing. I was 20.
Wow.
I think I was. It was 20, 98. And it was brilliant. It was the most amazing thing to go and meet my cast, and 122 people in the cast.
Wow.
From 22 different countries.
Wow.
Which was mind-blowing
Yeah,
for a 20-year-old black kid from Connecticut.
Yeah.
And we traveled, we did 25 of the states, Austria, Belgium, France, and Japan.
Wow.
And it was an 11-month tour.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh my
it was 11
gosh,
months.
Chris,
And it
I
You
was
saw the world.
amazing. Yeah.
That
It was,
is-
and it was not only like performing the show, we were doing community service. We were living in host families, which was really cool. And then, of course, doing the show, which was based on like the human connection. The show was called Roads, and it was about the different roads that we all take in life and how they don't all go the same way, but we get there all the same. Those are the exact lyrics.
Ooh, he still remembers.
love it.
Okay, so you toured with that with what was it called again? Up with People, and then cruise ships, and then
cruise ships, right.
and then after.
And then after ships, I booked the Book of Mormon, first national tour. Hello.
Hello.
So we're sort of super fans of that. We're repeat attenders of that show.
I'm interested.
Yeah, I'm interested. And I forget why we went down. I was probably taking my kids to see Grandma because they're in Costa Mesa, and I would like if I drove, I'd be like, Jenny, I'll buy tickets to Book of Mormon if you can make the drive with me.
I'll go.
And so she's like, I'm interested, and then we go down. And so tell us a little bit about that. How long were you on tour with Book of Mormon?
I toured for 3 years with the Book of Mormon, which is a long time to be on the road.
Yeah. Wow.
But
Congratulations.
thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, and I survived.
Yes.
I survived it. It was great because it was the first time that I was making as much money as I was making, and I was able to really pay off some debt, which was, thank you, student loans. You're gone, no longer a part of my life.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you. Next. Student loans. I took an amazing 2-week vacation to South Africa. Did Cape Town and Johannesburg, Botswana, Zimbabwe. That was fierce. That was very, very fierce. And then also built a home for myself in New York. I didn't really have a home for myself in New York. I was sort of bouncing around and built a great home for myself and was able to maintain my new apartment, and I got new furniture and
Is it
goes
and new
up.
clothing.
Yeah.
It was all good. It was all good.
So is it true that you adopted a puppy on tour?
I did.
Gus,
My
or Gus,
little boy.
affectionately known as Gus Gus.
Gus, yeah.
Gus.
Well, it's funny that you're wearing the Siempre Lin sweatshirt because Gus's proper name is Gus Manuel FAISON. Yes.
I did not know that Gus's middle name was Manuel.
His middle name is Manuel.
Love it.
Yeah.
So how far into the tour were you when Gus came into your life?
The last year, actually, year 3.
Okay.
I knew that I wanted a dog because I was feeling very lonely and was like, I would love to have I needed to mother.
Yeah.
And we were in Phoenix, Arizona, and I happened to be living down the street from a from a shelter.
Okay.
From a dog shelter, And so I was like, oh, let me just go down. One day I said, I'm just going to go down. I'm going to see what kind of dogs they have in here. I'm not going home with a dog today. Like, just go and look and, like, decide for yourself what you want. And I got there, and a girlfriend of mine, Valeda, was with me. And we worked through kennel after kennel after kennel, and it was all these big,
like
big huge dogs, and, like, just very violent Rottweilers and pit bulls and whatnot. And I was about to leave, and the lady was like, oh, there's, one more. You have to see the puppy section. So we went to the puppy section, and all of them, again, as we were walking through, they were all going crazy bananas. And I was like, okay, no. And they weren't really cute. There was no really, like, cute dogs.
So nothing, like, grabbed
Nothing grabbed my eye until I got to the very last kennel and saw the very last, on the bottom row, there was this cute little white Jack Russell Chihuahua mix. And he looked at me, and I looked at him, and I was like, oh, hell. Oh boy.
You imprinted.
Literally. Like, I could hear, like, Sarah, what's her name? McLaughlin.
Oh my God.
Like, that's what, like, I could hear the music playing, and I was like, oh, damn. Guess I'm getting a dog. And then
you guys imprinted.
3 days later, he was mine.
And, like, and so he's a tour dog, so he had a lot of love and friends and
my God.
Spoiled rotten.
Spoiled rotten to this day because everyone on that tour loved him. Everybody. There would be days when I'd be asleep on the bus, and I'd wake up and be like, "Where's my dog?" And I'm like, "He's up front with me." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Visiting Auntie or Uncle
I haven't met Gus yet, but it's coming.
Oh,
it's
he's
gonna
so
happen.
precious. He's a pain in my butt because he is spoiled rotten, like I said, and he's still very much a puppy in his head, even though Daddy's trying to train him to grow up. That's my boy.
I love it. Okay, so let's get to My Fair Lady. Again, this is your Broadway debut, so I want to hear a little bit about that. So maybe a little bit about the audition process, and then of course when you got the call.
Sure. I was as broke could be. Didn't have any money.
Keeping it real. I love it.
Keeping it very real.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Very broke as broke can be. I owed everybody and their mother money. I was shopping at the dollar store for clothing. This is from the dollar store, by the way.
It is so cute.
Thank you.
It's fierce. Yeah.
So are these pants.
Right.
And so I was like sort of done with auditions. I
remember.
had it.
Yeah.
I'd been in for everything. I wasn't tall enough. I was too old. I was too young. I was just like down on the world of performing arts, and I didn't want to do it anymore. An opportunity arose back home in Connecticut to direct Songs for New World for a community theater out there, which I went and did, and I was like, oh, again, that thing of like something, I just did something here. I could feel something happen. And so I thought, well, maybe I'll explore that avenue. They were in need of some younger people in their roster of talent. They needed people of color, and they needed LGBTQ people to come and work. And so that was what I was planning to do. I was giving up my apartment in New York. I found a subletter. I was done. I was going back to Connecticut. I was going to make it happen in Connecticut. I just wanted to take like a sabbatical and just take some time for me. Anyway, my agent emailed me and was like, hey, I know you're getting ready to go, and I know you're not like really into it, but My Fair Lady at Lincoln Center would like to see you. And I was like, who? What?
My Fair who?
I don't. What is that? What is My Fair Lady? I don't know what that is.
Right.
They got black people in there. 19.
Right. Wait. What is this? Yeah.
In London, I don't.
This is not. Yeah.
You sure you called the right Chris? All right. Whatever. And so I promised. I told my agent I would go in. And I didn't have anything in my book that was appropriate. Okay. Believe it or not, which I should have had some.
Yeah, that surprises me.
My book is terrible. And my book is terrible. It's terrible. I'm working on it.
No, that headshot you have.
But this is great
terrible.
for people to know
that headshot is
with a horrible book.
Even with a horrible book, I was still winning. So I asked a friend
book.
of mine, like, what do I sing for this? And he gave me a song suggestion. And I said, okay, fine. And I learned it, and I'm listening to the song online, and I'm downloading it, and I got the sheet music, and it's all in, everything's in a different key. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, the recording that I have is a different key than the sheet music that I have no time to like get to a piano because it was like very soon. I couldn't like find anyone to play for me, whatever. And so I taught myself the song in 3 days, and went into the audition, and I sang the song. And before I even opened my mouth to sing, I could feel a very chill vibe in the room. I could tell that, like, okay, something might happen here. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
If anything, I'll get called back, and then they'll, you know, whatever, we'll go from there. And anyway, I sang That's For Me from State Fair. And I got the call back.
How did you think you did?
Great.
So you left there thinking, like, I did my thing.
Yeah.
We'll see what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I felt good about it.
You left it all.
I felt good because the song was appropriate for me. It felt good in my body. It sounded good to my ear.
And then you had that feeling when you got into the room.
And then
too,
I had the feeling when I went in that they were like rooting for me.
Yeah, that's I love that.
I felt like they wanted me to do the job, which was the first time in a long time that I felt that way.
Yeah.
At an audition, and so it was really great to sort of feel the love. It wasn't love yet.
Yeah.
But it was definitely people were on my side. They were rooting for me, and so that was really cool.
And so then you got
the
call back.
Okay. Callback, and went in for the callback and had learned. What did I have to learn? I had to learn. Excuse me. The tenor part for Wouldn't It Be Lovely?
Okay.
And I went in and did that for them, and a couple weeks later, I got a call when I was at the dollar store. Again, returning clothes because I was broke. And my phone rang. It was my agent, and I answered, "Hello, welcome to Broadway." And I said, "I gotta call you back because I'm in public right now, and I'm about to lose."
Right. Yeah.
I'm about to lose it.
Right. As you should.
In public and
Yeah.
at the doggone dollar store. And so
I love this.
returned my clothes, got my $9.99.
You're like, let me finish this list.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Got my money back. And on the way back to my apartment, I called my agent and talked to him, and I stopped at the liquor store and I picked up a bottle of champagne.
Yes, you did. Oh, I love that.
Went to my best girlfriend's house, and who lived right on the next block. It was funny because I knocked on the door, and she kind of looked at me and she was like, "You got it."
She knew she could
She knew.
read.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
read you like it was on your face. I'm sure
It was
on your face. I'm sure.
Yeah.
How do you hide that? Like, I mean, how would you have hidden that from anybody?
Yeah. So that was cool. It was very cool.
So your Broadway debut. So I mean, tell us like some of the highs that you've had with that.
They're all highs.
Yeah,
There's
tell everybody what you've been through this year.
I mean, you were on the
Most people know.
Thanksgiving Day
Thanksgiving
parade.
was the most recent thing. I mean, everything
Tonys.
that has
The
happened has
Tonys,
just been really amazing. It's all just been.
the cast album.
Sorry,
I mean,
we're telling all your stuff. I know.
I want it all. I want it all.
Oh.
No, yeah, the Tonys, the recording of the cast album, which was really cool. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade was incredible. The Tonys was awesome too because I was in the opening number, I was chosen for that, and I also did the show's production number, which was really cool too to be in that. So it was great. It was the Tonys. I'll say for me were over in the blink of an eye. It was so fast and so hurried and television and but what there's no words to describe like the feeling of what that is of being on Radio City and the curtain coming up and you're there and it's just a sea of people and there's all the celebrities down there and there's all the fans in the way tippity top and you're like there's Sarah Bareilles and Josh Groban 10 feet away and I'm like hey.
I remember watching it and just being so
we
like
were so. And then to get from texts from you throughout the day was so special to us.
It was really
to
cool.
see you living your best life and us getting to experience it.
It was amazing.
Just...
It was amazing. So like, what are the highs? They're all highs.
Yeah.
The minute I start complaining, it's time to go.
Amen to that. I heard that. Yeah.
Raise a glass to that.
Right? Yeah,
Cheers.
absolutely.
I'm empty, but I'm gonna raise it.
Right.
Yeah.
So you are the understudy for Freddie.
Yes, Freddie owns for him.
Yes. So tell us about that life. I mean, have you had to go on with no notice? Like, give us a little bit of what that life is about.
So no, to answer your question, I've not had to go on without notice. Knock on wood.
Yeah, right?
We're actually crossing our fingers it happens tonight.
If it's gonna happen, I mean, you know.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You're right.
I know,
Please
right?
don't.
No, he's like, no, I'm not ready for it.
I'm not ready.
Just know when
we're gonna be in the audience,
Right,
right? Girls.
I'm not ready. No, understudying, Freddie, I'll tell you about the first time I went on. I did have notice that I was going on, which was great. I'd had several rehearsals, and we have understudy rehearsal every week, which is really nice. But the first time going on, I needed the two most important people to meet there, and that was my mother and my best girlfriend from high school. Excuse me. So they came down from Connecticut, and it was Memorial Day weekend. What's the one in September? Labor Day.
Yes.
Labor Day.
Yeah.
It was Labor Day weekend. That was the first time I went on, and it was insane. It was me acting across and with Lauren Ambrose, who I just adored. And not only do I adore her as an actor, I also adore her as a person. And so that was really really sweet and incredible to work with her and to do that. And I don't remember any of it. I don't remember.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I bet.
I literally don't remember what I sounded like. I don't remember what I looked like.
But your mom was your mom.
Your mama.
So that was cool. My mother was there, and my best girlfriend was there. So that was cool. That was what it was about for me. I do remember the end of the show. Her telling people as we were like walking out, "This is my son. That's my son."
Yes,
Mama. You tell them.
Yes,
you tell
Say
them.
It proud.
That's my son.
Yes,
she has that right. How many times have you played Freddie?
Several. 7, 8.
Okay.
That he
times.
Okay.
Maybe that's a high number, but maybe around 7.
Okay.
Okay, so if you had to sum it up, what's your most favorite thing about performing on Broadway?
Ooh, most favorite thing about performing on Broadway is performing on Broadway.
Well said.
That's
Well said. You're living the dream, man.
That's the most favorite. Again, there's no point in complaining about something that you've wanted your whole entire life. There's no point in complaining about it because you're here and you know, and living it. It has not, I will say this, it has not been the experience that my imagination thought it was going to be. Sure.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of a failure of the imagination in that aspect. However, I've worked with Dame Diana Rigg, honey. Yes. Yeah. Dame Diana Rigg was the first person to say, "And Freddie Eynsford Hill," and I was like, "Hey, Dame Diana, hi."
Well, we have been rooting for you since the moment we said
course.
Hello.
Yes.
You know, I mean, that like literally.
I love that.
And so we're so happy that we've met, that we've been able to continue our friendship, and that now we get to see you on Broadway.
Yes.
I cannot wait. Tonight we get to see him on Broadway tonight.
Yes.
Tonight. Front row.
Yeah. So we love you. Thank you for sitting down with us. Do you want to tell our friends at home your social media stuff so they can follow along your hijinks and adventures?
I have to look up my Instagram because I forget.
I know, because I can't find you every time. I'm like, what is it again?
He added an R or something. C-M-R.
Oh, it's Mr. C. FAISON. That's what it is.
Mr.
C. FAISON. Check it out. Check out if you're in New York or coming to New York, definitely check out Lincoln Center Theater's production of My Fair Lady.
Yes.
And Vivian Beaumont.
Yeah, I'm a repeat. I'm going to be a repeat attender, and so I can already tell you it is absolutely stunning. It's a beautiful show. It's a beautiful show, and very well done. I mean, I can't wait for you to see it.
I'm so excited to see it.
And we're sitting in the front row.
Yeah.
I
can't wait. I can't wait.
I'm supposed to be like serious and like in it. I'm gonna laugh.
Okay, so here we are with Chris, and we are going to do our Golden Broads of the Bay quick fire questions.
Got it.
Are you ready, Chris?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
I feel like I'm on a game show. Okay.
I know, right?
Go. What is the prize?
There's no prize. We just want to know what you think right off the top of your head.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
I'm ready. Oh God.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Sing,
Diet.
Sing or dance?
Sing. Ew.
Sweet or savory?
Both.
Run or bike?
To what? Next.
Sunflower seed or peanuts?
Peanuts, yeah.
Phantom or Les Mis?
Phantom. Peanuts, they gave me cast.
Analog or digital?
Digital?
Beer and wine or cocktails?
Oh. All of the above.
Summer or winter?
Summer, ew.
Coffee or tea?
Tea?
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Plane or train?
Where are we going?
Just one.
Depends where we go. Both. I like them both.
Okay.
I love the train.
Vacations.
But I also love the plane.
Tropics or big city?
Tropics.
Bookstore or music store?
Music store.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Never seen either of them.
And that's a wrap.
Well, thank you
We
for sitting. We love you so much. And break legs tonight, baby.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. See you on the other side.
Cheers.
Curtain.
Curtain.